Very good morning, all of you. This is our fourth class on units and measurement, class 11th as per CBSE syllabus. This video we are sharing for education purposes only on behalf of Ambition Vedic classes. So, in previous classes, we have studied about what is a physical quantity, anything that can be measured, or everything that can be measured is known as a physical quantity. There are two types of a physical quantity: fundamental physical quantities, which are only 7 in number, and derived physical quantity, which can be many in number. So there are 7 fundamental physical quantities are mass, length, time, temperature, electric current, amount of a substance, and luminous intensity. In addition to that, we have also seen about 2 supplementary quantities, which are radian and steradian. Okay, so in today's class we are going to see how these fundamental physical quantities are measured, means what are the methods, the ways in which these fundamental physical quantities are measured. So first we will see methods available to measure length. Length is a fundamental physical quantities. To measure a distance between two objects or length of something, we have two methods available. The first method is known as direct method. Okay, so length of an object can be measured using a direct method, and distance between two objects can be measured, or length can be measured using an indirect method. So the two to measure length we have two methods: direct method and indirect method. Okay, so number one, what is a direct method? Basically, direct method is a method in which the distance or length of something is measured using measuring instruments. For example, a scale is given to us, or instruments like vernier caliper, micrometer, which we will see later in the science lab. Okay, so in direct method what happens is we are given with a scale, a standard system, and then using that scale in our hand we could measure the length or a distance by ourselves. Because the distance is measured directly by us, this method is known as direct method. Also, the measurements which are done using direct method, it is known as absolute measurement, because we are using the standard, and we can take precautions to avoid any error or mistakes with the help of a scale. Okay, so because we are measuring the distance ourselves using a scale, the measurement or method is known as direct method. Now coming to the second method, which is known as indirect method. Okay, so in indirect method the distances or lengths are measured using comparison. We compare two things together and then we come up with an answer. For example, all the devices which have a gauge written in them, they use comparison of the instrument itself. So measurements which are obtained using an indirect method, where we are not directly measuring the distance by ourselves using a scale or any other measuring instrument. Okay, such methods, they are also known as the measurements are known as comparative measurement. So there are two methods to measure a length: direct method, where we take our scale in our hand and we measure it by ourselves. Okay, and there is second method where we cannot use the scale ourselves. Rather what we do is we compare two readings together and we come up with an answer. Okay, so one such method to measure very large distances, actually very large distances, for example distance between a planet and a star, the method we use is known as parallax method. Now what is the meaning of parallax, that we will see in the coming uh, slide. And parallax, remember that parallax method is basically an indirect method. That means it uses comparison of two readings, and then we end up with a an answer. Also, remember that parallax method is used to measure not large but actually very large distances, like we have seen between sun and planets, or maybe a planet and a different star, like that. Okay, now before we go further with the discussion, we should know how the angles are measured. So for example, we know that the angles are measured in degree or it is measured in radian. What if the angle is less than a degree? How do we express that angle? Okay, so one way of expressing it is in degree. If the angle is smaller than the degree, then we express it in minutes and also in seconds. Like we measure time in a clock. In a clock, we measure time using hours, minutes, and the seconds. Likewise, degree is the bigger unit to measure an angle. Less than degree, there is a minute, and smaller than minute is basically a second. So 1 second of angle, we are measuring angles, is equal to 4.85 into 10 to power minus 6 radian. Okay, so just for the sake of understanding, we'll see here 1 degree is equals to 60 minutes. So this single dash basically indicates that it is minute. So 1 degree is equals to 60 minutes, and 1 minute, as you can see here, is equals to 60 second. So for example, if we are measuring an angle, so that angle could be written as 10 degree 31 minutes and 20 seconds. That is how we write. So if we want to convert this 1 minute into radian or seconds, we can use this. So 60 minutes, 60 seconds is equals to 60 into 1 second, because 1 second is equals to 4.85 into 10 to power minus 6. When we multiply, we end up getting 2.908 into 10 to power minus 4 seconds. So I hope this is clear to all of you, how we measure angles in degrees, minute and seconds. The biggest one is degree, then smaller than degree is minute, and smaller than minute is seconds. Okay, so now we will discuss about what is parallax method. Before going to parallax method, we will see how this parallax method works. So for example, we all know that all the human being have two eyes. Okay, so if you take an object, for example a pencil or a compass box in front of our eye, you will see that compass box properly at a distance of 25 centimeter. That is known as least distance of distinct vision, the distance where the eye is not pained. Okay, but remember, we are able to see an object three dimensionally. Okay, we can see how much long it is, how much circular it is, and how much deeper, what is the height of the object actually. So what we should do is, to see understand the parallax method, what we can do is, first of all, keep the object in your hand, and then first close your right eye. If you close your right eye and if you see the pencil, okay, and also compare it with the background. If the wall at your home or at your school is white in color, just look at that and you can mark there what we are looking at. So first close your right eye and look through the left eye and mark the position of that pencil on the wall. Okay, and then after marking, you open your right eye and then close the left eye, and now you mark the position of the pencil on the wall, mark of the position of the pencil on the wall, and then open your eyes and you find out what the markings are they at the same position or are they at different position. So surely the markings will be at different positions. We will see how. So for example, let's say we have closed our right eye. Okay, and we are looking at the thumb with our left eye only. Okay, so the thumb appears to be at crossing one pillar of this building at the background. Fine, so we will mark it as this is the position what we have obtained of this building by looking at our thumb, or where the thumb is placed on the building. So this is the position we obtain. If we open our right eye and close our left eye, then we will be able to see this. And again we can mark the position of the thumb. So this is the new position of the thumb. Now if you compare, simply by looking at the picture also we can say that right eye is looking at a different area and left eye is looking at a different area comparatively, clearly. And also if we compare the previous marking of left eye and of the right eye, you will see there is a difference. Okay, there is a difference in looking at an object by left eye only and right eye only. Okay, together we can see the whole building completely obviously. Again, let's take another example here. Or what we can do is, instead of looking with left eye or right eye, what we can do is we can stand at a different position and just look at the tree. If we stand at point A, the tree appears to be in position with this mountain. Okay, the mountain which is on the right hand side. And if we look it from point B, the tree will appear in line or along this separate mountain. So you have a different position. If we look from this position, it appears separately. Look from that position, it appears separately. So what is this difference we are getting? Okay, so very importantly, change in the position of the object, like we have seen. The thumb was appearing this side when we have looked from the left eye, and the thumb is appearing on this position when we are appearing when we are looking with the right eye. So there is a change in position of the thumb, change in position of the object with respect to the background. Okay, and when the object is seen from two different positions is called parallax. That means this difference what we are getting here, the difference of position, is known as parallax. Okay,